Another edition of Community Tapestry. My name is Napoleon Bell, and I'm the Executive Director with the City of Columbus Community Relations Commission. And on to the left of me, on my side, is the co-host, and her name is?
Tony Teague. It's nice to be here again.
All right.
Happy March.
It is Happy March. You know, we're going to have a great time in March, although this does play into April. But, you know, so it's going to be a great time in March and April, and we've got so much going on.
The weather is possibly getting a little warmer.
Oh, my gosh, yes. Please. If you're sick of the cold like I am, I'm ready to move west. West, I said. Not south, but west.
We'll talk about that later.
All right.
I need a little heat and humidity. I need some heat to nurture my soul.
Well, I need heat to nurture my soul, but also to help my bones because, you know, the thing is, I'm getting older. And well, we are getting older. We're all getting older.
Speak for yourself, man.
Well, I'm just saying. And so with that, with us getting older, there are times that, you know, we've got to be able to take care of our loved ones because they are older also.
Yeah, we'll all be called to that duty at some point, whether we're caring for a younger one or an older one.
Exactly right. So this is something that we're going to be talking about today. Mm-hmm. Not only caring for our older ones, but for our younger ones, those who might need our care. Yeah. And actually caring for ourselves in this.
That's right. And caregiving can be kind of taxing. And when you think about the state of Ohio and its citizenry, you realize that we are an aging population. Although we're infusing young people into the mix, we are an aging population. And with that, means that we've got to have a whole new set of tools at our disposal. So let's talk about nurturing our soul and caregiving. We've got Teresa Cloud-Eagle, who's going to talk to us. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
It's great to have you. So let's dive right in. Tell us a little bit about who you are. Help our viewing audience get to know you.
Sure. As you said, Teresa Cloud-Eagle is my name. I am, at heart, a holistic practitioner, and it stems from when I was a young child and that natural and healthy way that we lived as a family. But little did I know that it was going to be a nurturing part of what I do now and the direction that my life has taken. So I started seeking out more ways of holistic living, even to the point that I produced and distributed internationally a holistic and self-care magazine. I should say holistic and spiritual magazine. I also had a practice that I taught people how to tap into their innate healing abilities and just to live more naturally and true to who we really are.
So people think about holistic approach, and we hear it often, but I don't know that it's always very defined for people. So tell us what you mean by holistic living.
It is defined, but very simple at the same time. It means taking care of your total being, your body, mind, emotions, and spirit, so that everything is working cohesively and balanced together. The physical part gets a little skewed because of us being earthly beings, and we just, you know, the ego gets into play, and we're just more focused on our survival and those instinct in us, which then pushes the other things off to the side, and they don't get the attention paid to them as much as they should.
Well, how does this then relate to caregiving?
It relates to caregiving because I teach people how to take better care of themselves, removing the guilt, the frustration, and those types of things that go in with caregiving. And when we are taking care of other people, and men are coming more into this mix, but women, I say, innately have a caring gene, almost to a fault, because they take care of everybody else and not take care of themselves. And it goes from when you're a mother, you know, grandmother, sister, volunteer, neighbor, whatever we delve into, we jump in full body and, you know, don't think about the harm that we're heaping upon ourselves as we do this.
So what is the message that you want to get across to caregivers, especially it looks like you've written a book?
Yes, I've written a book, which is called Nurture Your Soul, The Importance of Self-Care for Caregivers. And in that, we talk about just some of the things that cause stress, whether it's in the home or even the workplace. I've redefined the definition according to Webster as far as what it is for what the definition for caregiver is.
Okay.
And it incorporates, those issues of self-care. And so it's not just people who take care of the elderly and those who are sick or children, but I've included moms, dads, grandparents, neighbors, friends, volunteers, even employees, because all of those people are listening and are caring for someone in one way or another. And I would even venture to say that one of you may have, someone in your family who's taking care of someone else. And so we just want to expand our awareness of who the stress touches in this area of self-care and caregiving.
So give us a couple of tips, your top 2 tips that you have for caregivers.
The top 2, okay, that's interesting. I'd say the first and most simple thing is to remember to breathe. We forget that simply breathing and using the total lung to inhale and exhale will automatically relax the body. You can feel your shoulders even relax as you take that deep breath.
Yeah, I've heard that when you're talking about remembering to breathe, I have heard that so often when we're stressed, we actually forget to breathe.
Exactly.
So many of us are actually walking around holding our breath.
Yes, that's very true.
I'm glad you addressed
and
it.
because of that, your body tenses up. And so our society, it's unfortunate that we are used to not breathing and thinking that being tense is the way we should feel, when in fact it should be totally opposite.
Right.
The other is just to mentally visualize your body relaxing from head to toe. And feel and see each muscle, command almost each muscle in your body as you do that scan to relax. And that, only takes maybe 10 minutes, because you don't want to rush through that,
Right.
but using your visualization and your imaging skills to help do that.
So you talk about then the doing these methods of breathing and visualization. But let me ask you this: what's the consequences if you don't do this? I mean, what has been is there statistics to back the consequences? What happens if somebody doesn't take into account caring for themselves?
Well, it's very interesting that you asked that, because when I was researching for my book, the statistics that I came across, first of all, my marketing strategist, it's like, well, go seek out your competition, who's your competitors? And so I thought, okay, if I'm going to write a book, let's go to the bookstore and see who else has written about this information. And I discovered that there weren't any books that totally focused on the caregiver themselves. There may have been a chapter, no, not even a chapter, a few paragraphs about what the caregiver, can do for themselves. And so during that research, I did discover that in one study, 50% of caregivers die before the person that they are taking care of. They just...
That's an awful statistic.
Yeah, it is. They just don't, they don't go to their doctor's appointments, they don't eat properly, they forget to take their medicines, those types of things.
Because they're focused on...
They're focused totally on the person who is ill.
Right.
And in their mind, they're the most important thing right now that I'm going to give my energy to.
Do you do anything to address the guilt, the guilt that a lot of caregivers feel for wanting to take care of themselves?
Yes, we do approach and address the guilt. But it all goes into another area, and that is how we think and how we verbalize and word what it is we are thinking. We have not typically been taught that our thoughts have power, and that once you speak those words, it gains even more power. So it's how you talk to yourself, that self-talk that you can address, and even, the dramas that may come into play with the person's family, not saying yes when someone asks you, but it's slow. They have to really work through that, because that's the first thing that jumps in their mind is guilt.
Well, you're talking about talking, and you've written a book, but let me ask you this. I understand that you have something coming up, that you'll be able to get that message out and to help a lot of people at a particular.
Yes. We are coming upon our second annual Nurture Your Soul Caregivers Conference, and it's going to be held on April 2nd or April 12th at the Wesley Ridge Retirement Community. They are our title sponsor in having us come and present this program to the caregiver audience this year.
So anybody can come to this?
Anybody can come to it, family members as well as professionals. The tickets for general admission is $29. For professionals needing CEUs, because we have those available as well, it's $49. It includes your a continental breakfast and your lunch. We're going to have vendors there, speakers, individual speakers, as well as a panel. We're going to have a demonstration, because it's about teaching them things that they can do. So I like to include some type of exercise that they can do. And so we're really excited about that and looking forward to it.
How would they get more information, as far as if I want to buy tickets or whatever, what number do I call, or do I go online? How do I do that?
Yeah, you can do both. You can call my number at 614-476-8680, or visit our website, which is nurtureyoursoulcaregiversconference.com. And the tab is Purchase Tickets Here, and it also has other information and even highlights from our last conference that's on the website as well.
That's great. I'm glad that you got really good feedback from your last conference, because all too often when we think about caregiving, we are thinking about the legalities. What do you what do I need to do? How do I set up hospice? How do I get power of attorney, et cetera? But all of that's important, but the person that gets left out is the caregiver nurturing their own
And
soul.
we're going to address some of those questions, those areas that you raised. Our theme this year is House in Order, Be Prepared for Caregiving.
Right.
So we're going to have speakers addressing those specific issues at this particular conference.
All right.
That's incredible. Well, we look forward to the conference and hearing more about what happened after the conference. But then also, I think this is an opportunity, though, for not just to go to the conference, but then to continue working, and learning and passing that information along.
Yes.
And reading your book.
Yeah, because the thing is to raise awareness of how important it is for caregivers to take care of themselves. Because without them, if something happened to them, what would happen to the person that they're taking care of?
Exactly. Right. Got to take care of yourself first.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. That's great. Well, we run out of time on this particular segment, but stay tuned. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor.